Hi guys, today we will going to analyze and discuss the new season 5 teaser. So I know I'm a bit late in the setting of a teaser because I wanted to see the opinions of other people before I do this. I watched many videos of other guys and girls to get an impression of what they think, and now I'm trying to combine those things with my opinion. So let's get started. So you all know the teaser trailer starts out with Steve Harrington searching for signal, putting the antenna out, turning it around with this wheel. You can see in the scene right here that he's first going through his hair. It's like a funny little detail. You can actually see two stickers right there in the corner of the room, but I can't really make out what they say. Maybe I'll zoom in later, but for now this will be discovered. So he's having his decibel meter right under there. You can see his decibel meter, which goes up. You can see in the shot right here out there on the outside of the van. You can see the two bikes that Lucas and Mike will use very, very soon. Then suddenly Steve has the headphones on and has a walkie-talkie in his hand, and he's really into searching this signal, as it seems. So the decibel meter is rising up. Then we get the new Netflix intro where we can see the boys' bikes. Then we get the interesting shot where probably Steve drives out with the van. I think it's Steve. And then behind him we can see Lucas and Mike in their military outfits. Then 11 is standing in the back right there, watching them leave. And on the side you have, I think, Joyce's car and Nancy's car. You can see them both back there. Joyce's car standing near the tower, and Nancy's car near the door. And then we probably get the same day inside now. A little bit of time has passed because 11 is inside now. You can see the Pink Floyd poster back on the wall. And we have the four with 11, Robin and Nancy sitting there with the overhead projector in the middle of the room. And Joyce is by the radio, by the speaker, listen to Mike, who says that the burn is commencing in 5, in 4, in 3, and 2, and this way he stops. Here we can see them all looking worried. Will, also very worried. Lucas is counting down, so maybe Mike is watching Lucas. He's putting the finger, and then Mike is watching maybe from the distance and saying yes. Now it's 4, now it's 3. Because Lucas has also the binoculars to watch what's happening. I can't really make out where he is. So we can see it's not really if there's a burn near to him. So we will talk about the burn later. But now we see those children. I'm not really sure if this is happening at the same time, because it definitely could be happening at the same time. But it could also not be happening at the same time. And then we got Hopper saying, come on, come on. I also don't know if this is the same scene. It looks very dark around him. If you line it up, you can see that he has an earpiece. So he's probably communicating with someone over this earpiece. Maybe Joyce. We don't know. Then we get back to the radio station, where you can see the lights are flashing and Will is going crazy. As I've seen in many of the oh, I just found Oh, that's great. Wait. So I'm so sorry. I just found out about the zoom function. You don't believe that? Yeah, no. We will try to zoom on these stickers that I mentioned before, if we can see anything. Okay. Yeah, maybe change something of the lightning. Doesn't seem like it. You can't make out what's happening there. It's just not possible. I'm sorry. We can't read those little stickers. But I don't think they're the problem. Yeah. We were at Will freaking out. So Will is standing there, like always. But he's looking very, taken over by Wagner. It could be a possibility. Many people say it could be that, but I actually don't think so. Because it looks more like he's fainting again. And there's where the theory kicks in. That I heard some people saying it's a really good theory, and I think it's true. Because the burn is, of course, the military burning the vines, burning the gate. And I truly think that this burn is affecting Will, like back in season 2. He can feel also right now what this feels like. Like, it's like they are burning him. Like they are burning his body. And that's why the boys, Mike and Lucas, go watch the burn and tell Will when it's going to happen so he can prepare for the pain. That could also the reason be because the others are so shocked that it's going to happen soon. So I think this could definitely be all in episode 1 if we talk about episodes. Then we got Will touching his neck, having his tingles again. His neck tingle. I can't really make out where this is. It could be a school. It could be the hospital. Those people walking by, I think those are just random people walking by. I don't think they have a important meaning. I can't really make out more details. There's a bench. There are many, many windows. There's something going up there. I don't really see what's happening there. So, the decibel meter is rising. And then we get a really cool shot of Mike, of Will, and of Hawley. How they are riding next to some military vehicles and those helicopters in the background. I think this is also from season 5, episode 1. To tell us how the new life is. The new life with the military. Every day with the military. Just a cool shot. I really like this shot. They're maybe bringing Holly to school or they're coming back from school. But it seems like they're going into the town. So maybe they're driving from the radio station. The radio station seems to be outside of Hawkins, so maybe they're coming from that. Next shot is very interesting. We got the military base. The base just being there. We got those 2 gates surrounding the base. Those walls. You can see the plates we have seen in the Saddam teaser. Those plates that will go up and reveal a monster coming out of there, which we'll discuss later. We can see those plates covering the gate. But the main gate part at the library is open, actually. We can see this in the next shot. Where soldiers walk by. It's the same shot, we know that, because we can see the soldiers walking down there. And they're walking by this gate. We can also see the church down there. Just some Hawkins regular buildings. We can see Melville's general store. So this will be important for later, that Melville's, Radio Shack, John's will be all in this area. We'll discuss this later. So we got the military guys walking by heavily armed. Then we got Edward Munson at his grave, now at peace, 1966 to 1986. And we got Burn in Hell written over it by probably the Jocks, which will beat up Dustin probably soon after this scene. He is looking sad, has his shirt ripped off already, so maybe it's just showing showing us this shirt is old. And we got the same shot probably of Max and Lucas in the hospital, but brightened up a little bit with the Kate Bush cassette in the background. Yeah, we can see Lucas grabbing Max's hand, then crying. Sad scene, but we don't have much detail. It just could be the first episode. The decibels are rising again. And then we got what probably could be the burn. We can see Melville's in the background, so we know this is at the gate. And they're probably burning it. Could be the burn they mentioned in the beginning or another burn. Then we got a cool shot of Hopper and Joyce in Hopper's cabin. Sitting there. Joyce is a bit nervous playing with his shirt. I see the clock in the background, just some stuff, and it looks like they completely rebuilt it, like they did, like they began to did in season 4. So maybe Joyce and Will and Jonathan live there now, since we don't know if they got a new house or not. Next shot is really interesting. We got Jonathan, Steve, Dustin, and Nancy at Hawkins' lab. We see the lightning. We see Nancy having her shotgun. Dustin having probably some batteries left. No, I zoom in. Yeah, the zoom function. Yeah, those are probably batteries, in my opinion. Can we see something else? Some car in the background. I can't figure out much more right here. So, let's go further into this teaser. We see them from the front again. Dustin having a walkie-talkie right there to communicate maybe with the radio station. We don't know that. Then we got this cool shot that is from episode 1, because Dustin is not beaten up, as it seems, and they are holding their hands together. And now is the interesting part in this picture is what's on the map. What's on the map? Here we can see all those street names, like Flute, Outwood, and stuff. And it looks like there's a little truck. For me, it looks like there's a truck or some kind of thing on the ground there. And then next to them there are some D&D figures. And if you brighten the shot up, we can see that those are indeed D&D figures. There's a dice, there's a red dice. It seems like there's a wizard figure like Wildewise. The next one could be the Demogorgon or the Dazzle Hydra, something with like more than one head or tail. And the last one looks like, I don't know, maybe, I really don't know, it looks like a big guy. Not normal, at least something. So that's the shot we got right here. Going back, we got the 11 moment, really sweet one. Got a photo of a deer back there. That's funny. So, see, it's in Hopper's cabin. We have the salt on the right side. So is this some kind of sensory deprivation tank? So let's zoom in a bit farther. I really can't make out what's standing on 11's swimsuit. Would be really nice, but I don't see it. Sadly. Yeah, so an interesting fact someone pointed out was that the way they're holding their hands, they are forming the shape of a heart. That's something very cool symbolism in this shot right here. So we got Jonathan and Nancy talking in the woods, finishing the talk. Jonathan started earlier, Nancy crying. Jonathan also very sad. It's an awesome scene. I love it. Then 11 putting on the bandana in the upside down. Probably at the Creel house or like a location inside a building. Because if you look back there on the lighting, it really looks like they're in a building. So, go on. Yeah, there we have young Will Byers jumping from a tree. And there's one thing that interests me. Because you see him jumping, the lighting going off, yeah. But there is something falling to the ground. And some people say it's the shotgun. Some people say it's the walkie-talkie. So I'm going to look at this in detail. We can see the thing falling down. And I believe that all of the people saying something are wrong. It's just a piece of wood, in my opinion. It looks at the end like a walkie-talkie because there's a little stick up on the top, but it's not a walkie-talkie. It's not. So it's just a piece of wood falling down. We got Linda Hamilton with the military guys entering probably the radio station. In my opinion, this red lightning, the same as in 11 shot where she's screaming. We got a better look at 11 and Hopper looking at this wall. My question is, what's there in the background? This looks really strange, like a sign or something. Don't know what's going on there. This shot is crazy. I don't know what's happening right there. You see, like it looks like a portal in some kind, and there's like a storm going on, but it's not a red storm like the Mind Flayer usually has it around him. It's a blue storm, and it seems like there's a building in the background that looks a bit like Hawkins' lab. So maybe they're in Hawkins' lab, and there's something happening in the lab. So I don't have an explanation for this scene. But the next scene can be explained. It's Dustin and Steve seeing something that's shocking them, and we can see Dustin's face really injured. We can see stuff around his eyes, stuff around his nose, his lips. This is bad stuff. Then we got the hospital, probably, with Lucas and Max, and probably Vicky as a nurse hiding from the demo dogs. This explains the behind the scenes photo we got from Tate100T, who gave us the video where first is Robin arrives with Joyce's car at the hospital, then the military comes. This is probably this scene. They're coming for their rescue. Max seems to be in a coma. Lucas with the WCK shirt, yeah. We got the military guys shooting at something. Maybe it is Wagner coming out of the portal. We don't know. Could be. Then this shot is interesting. Hopper over 11 on the ground with something shooting behind this wall. So are they attacked? Are they being attacked by the military in the Upside Down? Seems crazy to me. I don't think those two shooting scenes are connected, but they could be. I don't think they are, but they could be. So then we got Steve driving into the Upside Down, losing pieces of his car in the process. And then we got a really interesting scene. And there I need to thank Cadence Cut, a nice channel on YouTube. You can see in this scene the Demogorgon crashing through a door as Joyce is waiting. Behind it you can see WCK van in the back, so they probably came with the van. And then there's something on the arm of the Demogorgon that's flashing in the light. It's like a red light on the back. That's not normal. So the Demogorgon is probably being tracked, like Caden said in his video. I can link you the video down below if you want to watch it. But this is interesting. This is an interesting fact. The Demogorgon right here is tracked. The other ones we see in the trailer are not tracked. This one is tracked. So is this Demogorgon part of the Turnbow trap? That's the question. And I think, yes, of course, it is part of the trap. Then we got Will falling to the ground. This is the same scene, probably, as in the beginning when the burn starts. Probably the burn starts in this moment, and he's falling to the ground because of the burn, because of the pain. He's losing it, maybe. Cool shot. Nancy with the shotgun in some place I don't really can explain. This looks like the walls behind them are melting in something white. There's some light in front of them, so I don't really know. It doesn't look like the Upside Down for me. No, I don't think so. So we got a really dangerous scene. Right now we see the Bradley's big bad truck. We know it is Murray. Murray's driving it, and Robin is probably with him. So they're out at night at the fields. There are claw marks on the big bad truck, and the Demogorgon is jumping on the truck. The Demogorgon is jumping on the truck. Okay, so we got the next shot is very cool. We got Karen Hawley underwater in the bathtub. We can see like the walls, like the outer outlines of the bathtub. So it's definitely in a bathtub. And they're probably hiding from a Demogorgon or something else entering the room. Interesting scene. Got Robin probably at the radio station. Something very strange in the background. Can't really make out what this should be, but we have the Mind Flayer circling around the tower. And there's an interesting point. Someone pointed out that this could be the Mind Flayer trying to stop their signal they're sending from the tower. So maybe they're trying to hurt Wagner and the Upside Down with signals, or it doesn't want them to communicate with the others in the Upside Down. Could be one of those two things. And then see washing the blood. Wherever she is, I am not sure what place this is. Could this be at the hospital? Could this be someplace else? It could be. So she's not happy. We can see that. Then this interesting shot of Will, maybe fainting, but I don't think so. It looks like more he's charging something, like charging up to make an attack of some kind. So there's some really heavy blue lighting at the side, and here's some red. So maybe a portal is near to him. Then really a shot that scares me a lot. It could be in Hawkins' lab, and Dustin is crying in Steve's arms. So could this be the moment where someone dies, or Steve needs to go out in their fight and could probably lose this fight? So we're at 11 Hopper. Someplace we can see those windows back there we saw in one of the behind the scenes trailers. So it could be the radio station they're in, and the military is coming. You can also see this red lighting again. So maybe the military is coming in and they're preparing to fight. Then this shot could be from the final, from the right side up, with Hopper telling 11 to fight one last time. And then we got her sitting in the sensory deprivation tank from the scene earlier with Mike. Then we got the scene that is probably before or after the scene where Hopper is on 11, protecting her. So he's throwing the grenades in the scene. I'm not really sure if the scene after that with the soldiers exploding at the turnbow sign is really the next scene, or if this is a different explosion, but it could be. Could be. Then we got Will being attacked, probably by Wagner, screaming. Doesn't look good for him. That's dangerous. Holly in some kind of fairy tale outfit. Maybe when she meets up with Henry Creel. Looks a bit like Alice in Wonderland. So we got Lucas in the tunnel, something red lighting up before him. Some blood on his shirt. So someone has been lying on his shirt, who has been bleeding, or he has been shot or injured right there. Don't know which of both is true. Bradley's big bike truck with Murray and Robin. You can see Murray's working under the nickname Austin, under the alias Austin, at Bradley's Big Buy. They're at the radio station. You can see that as well. So we see the soldiers running through the woods, maybe hunting Eleven and Hopper. Then Eleven and Nancy arriving at the Wheeler's house, maybe to save Holly and Karen. Then someone, probably Robin, turning up the volume. That's the bitch riding again. One eye. Could be Will. The tunnels. I think Lucas. Could be Erica. And some third person. Maybe Derek. I don't know. But doesn't look like Derek. No. Running through the tunnels. So Erica in the Turbo Mansion using... Like, maybe she wants to use this injection for a Demogorgon. I don't know. Then 11 flying in her training at the junkyard. Then we see finally what comes out of the plates that burst open. It's a Demogorgon. Or at least one of the plates that burst open has a Demogorgon. We know there are 2 plates. But we got Joyce with the fainting Will on the ground. Looking at probably the Demogorgon or either Wagner, we will see soon. And we can see here the thing I meant with Melrose General Store being so important. Because in this shot we can see the General Store sign. With Mike looking at probably the Wagner that's coming out of the portal. So this is actually in the military base. We can see that Wagner has become a bit more... He has like a bigger hand, of course. A bit more scary. And then we can see him from the back, holding up the fire, still at Melville's and John's, you can see in the background. And this was, so I think, a teaser trailer analysis. So thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day and bye bye.